Hello and welcome back to another JW Thoughts Watch Along, where we go back into the catalog of old videos and see what the Watchtower has been producing in their audio video department over the last 10-15 years. I know a lot of people do actually really enjoy this because they haven't actually seen some of these older videos, and it's kind of fun to look back and see how things have progressed over time. ZZ apparently is here, which means we are ready to record. So, intro, no fancy water, but I got coffee with a cinnamon stick in it, so that's kind of cute. Run the intro. Alright, so we are watching The Prodigal Son. This one should be pretty funny. Well, I know the guy that is one of the actors in it. He was in my brother's wedding. So he was actually kind of a funny guy. I had good memories there. So we'll see what this produces. I haven't seen this one in a super duper long time. But yeah, with all that being said, let's run it. The Starry, Starry Night. Wow, that transitions into the water beads. That was wild. I want a cool intro like that.
Then he said, a certain man had 2 sons, and the younger of them said to his father, "Father, give me the part of the property that falls to my share." Then he divided his
For those of you that don't know, they will wheel out this little box if you're too short to do your first Bible reading, and then you'll stand on the little box. His dad's right there in the front recording
his property by living a debauched life. Then he said to him, "Child, you have always been with me, and all the things that are mine are yours."
You can already tell this is the bad kid not paying attention at the meeting.
Because this, your brother was dead and came to life, and he was lost and was found.
That was so funny.
You see that, David? I knew you could do it.
I know you could do it. They like their B-roll. Nice shot with the little reflection of him. That was actually kind of cool.
We alive yet?
There he is, Big Andy.
Come on, little brother. Get a move on. I need some help moving the extension ladder before we eat.
Not today, big brother.
That's a little slow. Holy. Who has just like wood screws just sitting on their nightstand before they go to sleep?
Hey, James, hold on. That's a 2-man job. Here, let me give you a hand.
You know it's a 2-man job. The other man should have been down here by now to help.
Your brother's going for a job interview in the city.
Job interview for what? Where'd this come from?
He told me and your mother about it last night.
That'll work out really well with the schedule.
Immediately salty his brother is. Job interview in the city.
Yes.
If you're making scrambled eggs, you need to keep stirring those.
At the end.
You can't stop stirring. It's live. You've got to really work at it.
They're gonna get chewy.
That's right.
You need to keep stirring.
And I want a really nice sort of creamy scrambled egg. Something quite fluffy.
You don't stop stirring.
And
What
I'll
are you
make sure
doing?
John gets back to you on
No.
that.
That's a disaster.
You're
Take them off the
welcome.
heat. They've been on the heat too
Bye-bye.
long.
Take it off the heat. Go back to the heat. Take it off the heat.
It's gonna be the
Mom, I gotta
rubberiest
go.
scrambled
Honey, you're not
eggs
staying
ever.
for breakfast?
An idiot sandwich.
Okay.
Hey, Dad.
Hey, David, you're not eating with
I
us.
wouldn't stay for that
No,
breakfast
I gotta
either.
go.
But breakfast is almost ready.
David, I'd sure like to talk with you before you go.
Yeah, why don't you join us for a while? We can talk about things like, the weather and how you never told your older brother that you were looking for another job.
I'm sorry. I didn't know I needed your permission.
Have you forgot that you have a job? Barker Family Construction. The small company that you're 25% of. The one that finally has work booked for 6 months.
John, can you stir that for me, please?
Okay, first, it's just an interview. I haven't actually gotten the job. And second, maybe I don't want to swing a
someone needs
hammer
to
for the
stir it.
rest of my life.
And what's wrong with that?
Nothing. I just want to get out on my own. Maybe have more responsibility.
David, I told you, you're almost at a point when I can give you some jobs of your own. You do good work, and you're only getting better.
So what is this dream job that you're after anyway?
It's a web marketing company in the city.
Web marketing? What experience do you have with that?
None, but they're hiring for some
Why
big
is the
project,
end on
and
his
Al
tie
recommended
so
me.
tiny?
I'm meeting him first to get some tips before the interview.
Tips from
Oh, it's
Al?
a double Windsor.
I mean, Al Phillips. Please don't tell me you revived your friendship with that loser.
He's not a loser. He's been with the company for 2 years, and he's already a project manager.
I'm sorry, I'll rephrase that. He's a spiritual loser.
James, it's amazing to me that you have time.
So his tie is like that long whenever he's actually making the knot, and then they cut to the next scene, and magically he went from here to here, and it's all the way down to his belly button. That was actually really funny. You could almost see that happening. Like, wait, that tie is way too short. There's no way this is gonna work. Oh, that was pretty funny. Yeah, not a whole lot to say about. We kind of all already know where this is going. Don't get a job in the city with other people. Have a small business. Work with your family. You don't have to be associated with worldly people. Yeah, we all know where it's going. But let's let it run, baby.
James, it's amazing to me that you have time to be both a carpenter and a judge.
Okay, it's time to eat. Honey, let's do our daily text and then feed these monkeys.
I think that's a good idea.
Mom, Dad, I'm sorry, but I'm gonna have to do it later. I'm a little nervous and I want to get there early.
All right, then, you better get going. But please, before you agree to anything, let's talk about it first, okay?
Absolutely, Dad. It's just an interview.
All right.
Well, you need something to eat.
Take this out.
And remember, tonight I'm making your favorite, roast beef.
Sounds great. Thanks,
Let's
Mom.
get that roast beef.
Love you.
After the
Love
quality
you
of
too,
those
honey.
eggs,
Love you,
sounds
son.
scrumptious.
David, remember you
Still
have a
sitting
talk
in the hot
tonight.
pot, by
Yep,
the way.
I'm all set.
So what if he actually gets this job? Are you really gonna let him just quit in the middle of all this work?
Well, I guess there's no sense in worrying about what hasn't happened yet. Besides, it's not like I can force him, or you for that matter, to work for me.
Dad, I want to work with you.
I appreciate that, son. Well, let's do our daily text.
No, don't get me
They're
wrong.
wearing
I'm
their
definitely so
construction
excited about this
shirts,
opportunity.
even though they're
It's just my
inside
family
the
is.
house.
Your brother is such a control freak, man. He needs to mellow out. He's gonna have a stroke or something. He'll be all right. My main concern is my parents. I don't think they want me to
This
leave the
guy.
family business. And my dad wonders if this is the best move for me. Classic case of
such
parents
bad
not wanting to
acting.
let go.
Oh my
But look,
God.
years from now, when they're old and feeble and Barker Family Construction has gone under,
He's not
they
even
are going to
trying to
be
be.
so grateful that their son has this rock-solid job with a Fortune 500 company. Nice, Al. I'm right. And here we are. Wow! Is it the whole building? Nah, it's just 2 floors. You think I stand a chance? Of course. He's with me. They don't let you say anybody. All right, let's go over this one more time. You gotta sell them on your strengths.
This guy is
Good
a
worker,
real weasel.
excellent communicator, quick learner, can-do kind of guy. Got it. You gotta sound like a company man. Yes, sir, I'll do whatever it takes, sir, whatever you need. Stuff like that, it's very important. Right, right.
They really have to go over the top with this guy, don't they? Right at the end there, hold the elevator, please. And he's like hurrying to hit the button. Like, just on every single level, this guy has to be the scum of the earth because, of course, he's, as Andy said, a spiritual loser.
So let me be frank. You don't have any experience in web marketing, or with any marketing for that matter.
Yes, sir. But I learned very quickly.
I believe in you now. Great answer.
This is tough. I like you. I like your attitude. And I'm impressed with the way you speak.
Thank you, sir. I appreciate that.
Tell me, in your construction job, how many hours a day did you work?
Mostly 8, sometimes less.
How would you do working a professional week?
Fine. That would be no problem. I'll do whatever it takes, whatever you need.
This is great.
Yes, let me try my call.
Hi, Nicole.
Hello.
Hey, any messages for me?
Yes.
Do I know any of those people? I probably should have paid attention. Whoops. I'm sure someone in the comments will tell me that they knew someone. Ah, females. We're fully into the world now.
David. Dave, why don't you come on back?
That guy. A loser. He doesn't even read a magazine when he sits in the waiting room.
Got something to tell you. Let me guess. I don't have enough experience.
That's right. You don't. But doesn't matter. He really likes you. He's gonna offer you the job.
No way. Really?
Oh, and it gets better. Since you're such a rookie, he wants you on my team so I get to train you.
Seriously?
Yeah, so, feel free to refer to me as sir from now on. Right. Let's go, he's waiting.
All right.
What a nerd.
Actually, wait.
What's wrong?
You think I can tell Mike that I'll give him an answer tomorrow?
That would be a very bad idea.
I know, but my dad wanted me to talk with him before I committed to anything.
What's there to talk about? You have 100 other people out there that want this job.
I know, I want this.
Then stop letting them mess with your head. This guilt, it's not healthy, bro. You're just gonna doom yourself to a life of working on other people's gutters and roofs.
You're probably right.
I know I'm right. It's a gift of mine. Nobody said we get in there before he changes his mind.
All right, let's do it.
Now you're talking.
So what I can offer you is a position as a project assistant. Once you sign the company confidentiality agreement, you'll get more details. For now, this will tell you about our company.
Thank you for the opportunity, Mr. Benson. I really, really appreciate it. I won't disappoint you.
Beautiful. Any questions?
Just one. Every week I have meetings.
Oh, excuse me. Yes?
Gene Weber is online too.
Thank you. Listen, I gotta take this. Did you want to tell me something?
Nope.
No, nothing. It can wait.
Very good. Al, why don't you take David, show him around, and then take him down to HR to make it official. David Barker, welcome to True North.
Thank you, Mr. Benson.
It's funny that they had to add this little part in. It's like, oh, well, every week I have these meetings to go to. And the, spiritually weak kid or whatever, he's like, don't say that. Which, there's nothing wrong. I knew a lot of people that did have normal office jobs that were witnesses. And they could just stand up for themselves and say, hey, I, need to be home at this particular time and I need these days off. And a lot of times, and everyone would always say, oh, it's a blessing from Jehovah. And you would also get that around the convention time. When it's like, oh, well, I need this, particular Friday off. And we'd have it in the kingdom ministry. Well, you need to ask your employer earlier to make sure that you can get that extra day off. But I never really knew anyone that it was a real problem with, that it was like a big issue. And maybe that was just my experience, and what I'm about to say makes no sense whatsoever. But it's interesting that they show him, being like kind of spineless in a way and not actually speaking up for himself, which is sad. And then his friends telling him, no, don't say anything about the meetings. When, again, in my experience, there was never really a big issue with anyone that had to be to their meetings on time and everything. It never really was a consistent problem. But anyway, all these little subtle things that they add in there that are indicative of what it's like to be in the world, or what it's going to be like if you go into the professional workplace, is so clearly written by people that live at Bethel, that work at Bethel, that they don't have any experience like having a real job, because for years before this they were circuit overseers or missionaries or special pioneers, and then they went into Bethel. So they're so out of touch with reality, and they don't have any boots on the ground experience. And so when they're writing these things, it clearly comes off as someone that, well, has no experience in it. Nice, easy.
My friend, let me introduce you to your new home away from home. I'll give you the lay of the land.
Really likes
we
to
got
shake
the
his
manager's offices over there.
He's got the
that
finger
includes
guns,
me.
though.
This is what we call the pod village. It's where the worker bees reside. They take care of the search engine management, analytics, graphics, sales, things like that.
This guy's really over the
My
top.
computer's been running slowly. I need you to stop by this morning. Check it out for me.
First off, Al,
Hey, that's the guy from
you're
the
not my
Job
boss.
video.
Second, I'll get to it when I can. And third, maybe your computer wouldn't be running so slow if you'd stop downloading things you shouldn't be. Okay?
Ooh.
Okay, well, get to it when you can. These IT guys, they forget who they're working for.
He's a real cool guy.
And this is our
downloading
break room
porn
here.
at work.
Over here, this belongs to a good friend of mine. And who would that be? Come on, man, take a seat. I really got hired. I mean, this is all mine. You did? And yes, it is.
The only problem is I have no idea what I'm doing.
Oh, don't worry, I'll cover for you.
Just one question. What is a professional week?
That's a nice way of saying we work overtime and don't get paid for it.
Does it happen a lot?
Yeah, it depends on what the deadline is. Come on, there's a couple of people I want you to meet.
Well, that's a completely unrealistic date. Why don't they ask the people that actually do the work? I know. Of course.
That's super rude to like
you.
stand right in the doorway as someone's on the phone.
Vivian, love, do you have a moment? There's someone I would like to introduce you to.
Sure.
Dave, this is Vivian Chen, our project coordinator. And Viv, this is...
Let me guess, David Barker, old friend of Al's, our new project assistant. You start next week. Great to finally meet you.
Wow, news around here travels fast.
Well, Al here has been singing your praises for 2 weeks. I half expected you to have a halo.
Well, it's very nice to meet you, Vivian.
I admit the part about walking on water was a bit of an exaggeration.
Hey, babe. Oh, I'm sorry to interrupt. Here are the sketches. Hey, Al.
Hey, Taylor, back from your long weekend at the shore, I see.
Yeah.
How'd things work out?
Oh, don't ask. Are all men shallow, or only the ones that I've dated?
I don't know, I've never dated one. Taylor, I'd like you to meet David Barker, our new project assistant, and one of the most unshallow men I know.
Oh, it's a pleasure to meet you, David.
Nice to meet you too, Taylor. I was watching you earlier.
I
saw you earlier in the lobby. I was waiting for the interview.
Of course.
I guess you forgot to mention that he's also a stalker.
An unshallow stalker? I can't say I've ever met one.
Well, you two will make a great team. Stalker and professional flirt.
Taylor is in creative.
Seriously, though, congratulations on getting the job. I'm looking forward to working with you.
It begins.
I thought you said we were going to talk before you agreed to anything. Now you're telling me you're going to start next week?
Dad, I didn't expect to be offered the job on the spot. I didn't expect to be offered the job at all.
But couldn't you wait just another day or two?
Well, I mentioned that to Al, but he felt I needed to jump on this right away.
Now it makes sense. Al Phillips, of course.
He always says Al Phillips.
I was offered a job for which I have no experience, and they were interviewing people with lots of it. Why would I wait?
How about this? Dad asked you to. You know, the man to put a roof over your head.
James, please. You know we would really love you to stay on with the family business. And I don't want to lose you. Now, if you want to do something else to make a living, I can accept that. But have you really counted the cost? What impact will this have on your spiritual routine?
I don't think any at all, Dad.
Okay, well, have you considered the extra time each week to commute? Rush hour to and from the city each day can be pretty brutal.
But there are other brothers who do that.
Yeah.
What about the hours they expect you to work? Will it interfere with your meetings, your auxiliary pioneering?
Well, I may have to put that on hold, but it shouldn't interfere with my meetings.
What do you mean it shouldn't? You did tell him about our meetings, didn't you?
Do you mind? I'm having a conversation with Mom and Dad.
I'm also
Dad,
sitting here.
It'll have very little impact on my spiritual routine.
Okay, fair enough. But what about your goal to regular pioneer? We set up savings accounts to help you boys do that.
I appreciate that you're concerned about me. I do, but I'm 21 years old.
I've just seen how some jobs can consume a brother where there's very little time or energy left for Jehovah.
On a side note, but if he's 21 and he has a goal to regular pioneer and he's worked in his family business, most of the time, again, maybe just it's my experience, but most of the time this guy would have already been regular pioneering, right? You work out a family business, you have a goal of regular pioneering, you live at home, you're 21, you graduate when you're 18. I think he should be in his third year of pioneering by now, by my estimations. I don't know. I think he's already bad association. And maybe ask his brother. Is his brother a regular pioneer? Maybe he's not doing enough. I don't know. There's a lot of questions going on around here.
I just want to make sure you're thinking this whole thing through, David.
Remember, honey, what your dad always says? Measure twice, cut once.
I know, Mom. I know. I am thinking this through. And I'm really, really excited about this job. Please, everyone, stop worrying about me.
I got this.
It's not like I'm falling out of the truth.
Oh, of course you're not.
Wouldn't you like something else to eat?
Actually, I'm gonna go over my talk one more time before meeting.
Why don't you clean your dish, you pig? Just gonna leave it there for your mother? You barbarian? What a jerk.
So now what are we gonna do?
We'll make the best out of it. I'm sure we can find a brother that's looking for some work.
Ed Brewster's a really good carpenter.
That's right. I'll give him a call.
I'm very uncomfortable about David taking on this job.
Sooner or later, everyone has to make their own decisions. I think the best thing right now is to show David some support.
And
I feel like I've been supporting him
and
for
I'm
years.
cleaning up his dishes because he's a pig.
I am really worried about those boys.
They are two very different personalities, that's for sure.
He has like such the elder
But they're
talk.
both hard workers. They have good hearts. And I know they love Jehovah. They'll work it out. Let's give them some time. And why don't we say a prayer about it?
Holy Zee. That is a lot of hair. I don't know if that's showing up in the camera, but...
Whoa, Diego. No running in the kingdom hall, okay?
Saturday would be perfect. In fact, I have a couple of return visits we could do.
Great comment on the Bible highlights tonight.
Thanks, Brother Barker.
The actual conversations at meetings are like,
And you start next
did
week.
you see her hair?
I'm really excited.
She is
This
such a
company is
nerd.
huge, and it's getting even bigger. The fact that I got hired,
Oh,
it's
this guy on
pretty
the
amazing.
right, he was in another video
David,
too.
wanted to tell you I really enjoyed your talk. Very nice job.
Thanks, Brother Harper. Al thinks now I have my foot in the door, with all sorts of potential for advancement.
Aren't you gonna miss the family business?
Let me think. No more splinters, no more bruised thumbs, no more older brother micromanaging my work. Let me
shade.
get back to you on that. But the people I'll be working with are super cool.
That was funny.
So I wonder if your friend Al was at his meeting tonight. My guess would be not.
What? Where did that come from?
Look, I know you're excited about your new job. Just can't wait to get away from us micromanaging blue-collar workers. Yeah, that's right. I heard what you said. If you're not happy working for our company, so be it. I just wish that was with someone else.
Listen, Al may not live up to your perfect standards, but he's a baptized brother and a good friend who stuck his neck out for me. You gotta stop all this worrying. It isn't healthy. Like, give yourself a stroke
Yeah,
or
he's not
something.
wrong there.
Now, if you don't mind, I have to learn about my new company.
Please. Just watch yourself, okay?
Okay, thanks for the advice. Mind shutting the door on your way out?
Both of these kids are kind of jerks. They've really portrayed the Jehovah's Witnesses
moving
pretty
on.
well here.
I'm sure you've heard, but in case you were in a coma and just woke up, our sales team hit a big home run last week with Global Prop, and we won the contract for their next online marketing campaign.
Yeehaw! Let's go! True North, baby!
Big time praise goes out to the teams that worked on deck on this one. Sales says the presentation was AAA standard. Fantastic work, guys. Of course,
so funny.
Now comes a really fun part. Our client wants to have creative comps 2 weeks.
Oh, I'm cheering.
And to launch 4 months.
Excuse me.
I know people. I'm not happy
Thank
about
you
this
to
either.
everyone that said bless you
It's big.
while they're watching this.
Corporate is investing heavily in this project, and we need to shine on this one. That means this takes priority. Now look, you're all top performers. You can do this. So what do you say?
Let's
make
go!
it happen.
Really volatile meeting. There we go.
Hey, David.
And on the shoulder. He's an elder, clearly. Taught by an elder how to act. Gotta have the hand on the shoulder.
Hey, David.
Hey, how's it going?
Good.
How was your day?
We had a good day.
His brother doesn't say anything. What a jerk.
Hey, David. You wanna play some ball? Come on, let's go.
I gotta do this.
Okay.
Well, why don't you play basketball together? That'll take 5 minutes. Here's the descent that we've all been waiting for. Well, here's the real thing we've all been waiting for.
Ready? That's
Silly old me.
That, page 17. Right there? Perfect. Study. Okay, got it.
So, James, if you'll read that for us.
Hey, wake up.
Sorry.
Oh, the little book that they're reading for, See the Good Land. I remember when that came out. It was like this little brochure that had these pictures and details about the actual topography. It was like a map, basically. I probably have one. I remember I had it like stapled to my reference Bible before, but anyway, that's all to say. It was really boring. Like, it wasn't, I mean, some of the things in there were kind of interesting, but I don't remember like a lot of the stuff that was in there. Anyway, just the fact that this guy's like falling asleep during family worship. I've always said, like, even if someone's falling asleep at a meeting and they're the ones that get blamed for it, if they're falling asleep during a meeting, it might be because the meeting is really boring. It might be because the presentation that is being given is horrible. And there's just no chance. I remember, like, I was the most focused, avid witness you could imagine. And after lunch at the conventions, and they would do the Watchtower study on Sunday, or Watchtower summary, man, I would start like getting really heavy-eyed and hardly remember anything. Let's see how his new job is affecting his field ministry.
Oh, Brother Harper, I gotta take this.
Guys, like, you should leave me like that? I've had people do that where they were the ones talking at the door, and they got a phone call, and then they left the door like, oh, sorry, I gotta take this, and left me sitting there like,
Son, I know that, but you've made some.
Did you see that expression?
Here we go.
So glad we're gonna go out somewhere.
You guys, what about that new place? The one we found last week?
Let's check it out.
I could definitely go for a few drinks.
I'm sure his brother will be up waiting for him. In here.
James, you're up late.
Yeah, we need this thing for tomorrow.
Old gun is still jamming up, huh?
Just the third time this week.
I know it well. I must have repaired that thing 100 times. Why doesn't Dad just get a new one?
I think he has some sort of sentimental attachment to it. It's probably the first one he ever owned.
Probably.
How about you? They have you working late again?
Yeah,
For some normal conversation where they're not
this
like
project we're
ripping
working
each other's
on,
heads
it's
off.
for a huge client. We're burning the candle at both ends, trying to meet some unrealistic deadline to make account services happy.
Sounds intense. So is this job everything you thought it would be?
To be honest, I didn't know what it would be. I like the corporate vibe and the challenge of doing something different. It's awesome collaborating on a project. Maybe someday I'll get sick of it. I don't know, like anything else, but for now, I like it. It's kind of exciting.
Well, you'll do well with it. I'm sure you're one of the best workers that they have.
Thanks. Say, if you ever need a recommendation.
No thanks. There's one shark-infested ocean I have no desire to swim in.
It's always fun pointing with a pencil.
Right. Well, I better get to bed. Rush hour is only a few hours away. I'll see you in the morning.
Hey, David. Can I ask you something?
Yeah?
What's going on, man?
You're a fool.
You mean other than what we just talked about?
All this overtime for some corporate monster that could care less about you? The association, it's not good. It's starting to affect you.
You know, for a minute, I actually thought that you were interested in what I'm doing.
I am interested in what you're doing. And that's why I'm worried.
Well, stop. You've got nothing to worry about. I'm doing fine.
You're doing fine? In less than 2 months, you've missed 6 meetings and 3 weekends of field service.
Are you keeping track? Anything else, Detective Barker?
Actually, yeah. Your Watchtower is never studied. You hardly answer at the meetings. All you ever talk about is work. That's not fine. You know it. It's like becoming a carbon copy of Al Phillips.
You really need to get some new material.
I warned you about him.
But to be honest, though, I remember, being that zealous person in the congregation and mentally keeping track of how many times people were out in service. And that would be with people, that weren't even like related to me. Just random people in the congregation, like, oh, well, they only were in service 3 times this month. And oh, you were only out twice this month. And how many meet? It is really funny that they spot on nailed how witnesses think, because if you're there, like, well, I put in this effort and I have all this stuff going on, why can't you be there? I remember even keeping track of people were late to meetings. It was really silly, but yeah, they're doing a really good job of completely nailing how just pig-headed witnesses are and obsessed with just the smallest of things.
And it's all coming true.
Well, then I guess you can add profit to your many roles.
How about brother who cares? Who stuck his neck out for his entire life? Who doesn't want to see his brother get hurt?
Ooh, savior, too.
Go ahead and mock me. It's just mind-boggling to see anything redeeming in that guy.
You're just jealous, aren't you?
Jealous of Al? Are you crazy?
No, jealous right to the bone, because Al, unlike you, he enjoys life. He makes friends with everyone. He's happy, he's successful, people in the congregation liked him. That is until people like you started bad-mouthing him.
People like me?
Yeah, boring, uptight, self-righteous, I could go on.
Well, I'm struggling to stay on the cramped road of life. You're off running around on the wide and spacious with dreams of being some corporate big shot.
You're just jealous of that, too.
Not on your life. I want to do what's right in God's eyes. And I want the same thing for you, too.
You only think about yourself.
But you smug little...
Go ahead, say it.
Do what you want, David. Ooh. I can't stop you.
Punch him.
Mom and Dad can't stop you. Jehovah's not going to stop you. This is your decision.
Now you're finally getting it.
I don't know if you get it. As you sink deeper into this world's mess, who do you think is going to reach in and pull you out? I'm not. As of now, I'm done. You know, it just sickens me to think how much you're going to hurt Mom and Dad. I'm going to bed. I was a good brother to you.
Some good brother.
We always have to return to the same concept that almost all of these videos that we've been watching, they all kind of hit on the exact same thing. And that is, they never really address the idea that the witnesses could be wrong in their thinking, or there's never a counter argument or a popular, like, apostate idea. You know, they never go and show them intensely talking about 607 or something like that. That would be actually pretty realistic about why someone's fading out of the congregation and is having doubts. This is all about selfish impulse and desire and just being kind of a shitty person in general, getting caught up in a life, no regard for your family. And it couldn't be more opposite for people that are actually leaving the organization for the right reasons. But anyway. Yes. One cappuccino for me, please.
So, is work always like this?
Pretty much. Sales lands big new account, promises the client the world. Thank you.
Thanks.
When was
Then
this
Mike
made?
pumps
Why
us
would
up
you
with a
just text them?
motivational speech about how this would be the game changer
The
for our
true
branch.
north.
Then we run around like crazy to get it done.
On
Whatever
time
it
and
said.
under budget, of course.
You learn quickly. And if not, Mike gives us another speech.
He seems like a nice enough guy, though.
Oh, he can be. As long as corporate headquarters is happy. Mike is a company man first, nice guy second.
I see.
Like how
Everything okay?
even they show
Yeah,
the
it's
worldly
fine.
girls
Just
dressing
a
like ultra
persistent
wholesome.
ex-boyfriend. Sorry.
Let me guess. The guy you were talking about when we first met?
I have a good memory. Yes, another tragic love story. Girl gives her heart to guy, and guy cheats on her. They break up. Guy tries to win her back.
Taylor, I haven't known you that long, but I'm pretty sure you deserve a whole lot better than that.
Thank you. I think so too. Well, now that you know all about me, I don't know very much about you. Other than you grew up with Al, you worked as a carpenter, you're a super nice guy, and you don't curse. Tell me more.
That's about it. You've pretty much covered everything.
Like me.
Come on.
Really, there's not much else. I started working for my dad's company when I was 16. Barker Family Construction. A forward-moving, privately owned firm based out of a modest facility. Our garage. That features a highly
I think you were
simpatico
going to die in
workforce.
an impending
My
Armageddon.
dad, mom, and older brother. Our mission statement? No job too small.
Sounds like a nice group to work for.
Yeah, I guess it was. I just kind of grew out of it, you know? Hence my recent job change.
Now, with your construction background, how do you explain the nice guy, no cursing part?
That. Well, my family is very religious, so we were raised studying the Bible.
Okay, what religion?
It actually was.
Christian.
No, I miss
Well,
it.
I figured that, but what church?
We're Jehovah's Witnesses.
Oh, really? You know, there was a girl in high school that was Jehovah's Witness. She was really, really into it. Actually, some of the kids kind of made fun of her. To tell you the truth, I don't know much about it.
Christian.
It looks like Al is gonna send out a search party if we don't get back.
We wouldn't want that now, would we?
No.
Jehovah Witness.
Research for our project? How was your coffee break?
Good. Why do you ask?
He is an actual stalker.
So you are interested in tape?
We had coffee, that's all.
Oh, sure, it starts with coffee.
Let's go.
Now, if you don't mind, I have work to do.
Yeah.
Actually, Romeo, I have some life-altering news for you. How about we head to the think tank?
So, what is this
Oh, that was not
life-altering
coffee,
news
my
that
friend.
you have for me?
You remember my cousin Anton, right?
Yeah, the one that lives downtown?
Yeah, well, he called to tell me that 2 of his roommates just moved out of the apartment. So he's got to rent the rooms out in order to afford to stay there.
Go on.
Do I have to spell this out for you? 2 rooms, 2 people, 2 miles from work. It's too good to pass up.
Duh, it's too expensive.
This is a no-brainer.
You really think that we should sublet from Anton?
Think about it. No more long commute. No more getting stuck in traffic. No more having your loving family scrutinize every move you make. And the cherry on top is that we get to room together.
You may be forgetting that I make way less money than you.
Dave, it's only a matter of time before you get a raise. Probably a promotion.
Well, until then, I can't afford it.
Don't you have any savings you can tap into?
Ah,
Yeah,
now
some.
we're...
All right, let me talk to
Now
my
we're
parents first, and I'll get back to you.
Listen, here, take a seat. I'll be upfront with you. As a favor to me,
Pioneer
Anton was
Fund.
willing to let
Ah.
you rent out the room instead of his girlfriend's brother. But you gotta act now or the deal's gonna be gone by this weekend.
What is going to happen here?
You're 21 years old. You can't live with your parents forever. Don't you think it's time you leave the nest? Spread your wings? Be your own man.
Hello, it is Wally from the future here to do the outro. I actually recorded this a few weeks, maybe a month ago, and I recorded the entire video and didn't really realize that no one's going to want to sit and watch a whole hour-and-a-half long thing of this. So we will have a stopping point here, and we will pick it up next Wednesday. Thank you so much for watching along. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I am going to be starting something new over on the website, jwthoughts.com, and it's going to be basically a blog that's not necessarily about Jehovah's Witness things. It's just whatever stupid random things pop in my head. So every Sunday I'm forcing myself to sit down and write for an hour, and it's basically just whatever garbage comes out of my mouth or hands or however you want to put that. But if you guys do want to go check that out, I think I'll put a link in the description. Don't forget that you can always call, text, or leave me a voicemail. I do like hearing from everyone. Yeah, with all of that being said, thank you so much, and we will see you next week for the finale of the Prodigal Son drama from the witnesses. I think we gotta hand it to him. It is looking pretty good. Better than some of the other ones that we've watched along with so far. So good stuff. Thank you and goodbye.